This episode was filmed at the 13 Trees Coffee House in New Braunfels. To see upcoming events at the 13 Trees, scan the QR code below. If your business would like to be featured on the HCMG podcast, feel free to reach us at hillcountrymusician@gmail.com. We feature the songs and stories of local musicians every week. Thanks for watching and supporting local live music.
Hey folks at home, it's Joe with the Hill Country Musicians Guild. Another episode of the HCMG podcast, if you are liking to abbreviate stuff. But I am your host, Joe, and I'd like to introduce you to another Joe, or Marion Meyer, as he's known, depending on who you talk to. But his show name is Local Joe. We really love hearing him at open mics, and he's volunteered a lot of his time playing at retirement homes, places like that. And he has such a fun style about him. He plays a lot of jazz chords, gypsy jazz, a lot of sing-along, a lot of early kind of American music, and it is just so unique in this area. And so we really appreciate it here at the Hill Country Musicians Guild. And I'm going to pass it along to him to kind of open up the day for us. So please take it away, Joe.
Motorcycle, I can feel it changing gears. Well, every mile that lonesome Lone Star State will pass before my wheels. Every hill and every valley gonna know how good it feels to be loved by a Texan. Don't find a place I'd rather be than back beneath the willow, feeling Susan, feeling free. Texas, back in my hometown. Going back to Texas, back where I belong. Well, this time I'll never leave her, getting back there. This time I'll never leave her, getting back there. This time I'll never leave her, getting back there takes too long. Too damn long.
Well done. Oh man, that's great. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I've often wondered, in your public facing circles, do you go by Marion or do you prefer Joe?
I go by Joe.
You go by Joe?
It's just that Facebook wouldn't let me be Joe any longer.
There's too many of us.
I had Facebook many years ago, and my phone number is associated with Joe Meyer, and they would not, the algorithm shut me out. Yeah. And so my given name, my birth name is Marion Joseph Meyer, and so I just plugged the Marion in there, and people who really know me and are my friends know who Marion is.
Well, now you have a whole bunch of new friends out here. That's the truth about it. it's really cool, especially in a world of country music where we're at. It's nice to encounter just a lot of what would I say is just like kind of 12-bar blues in the key of E, like that last one. But then just the way that you present yourself in music, it's refreshing to see.
Well, thank you. Thank you much.
Oh, you're very welcome. How long have you been playing the guitar?
Since I was 12 years old.
Oh, not that long then, huh?
Not that long ago. Not that long ago. My grandfather gave me his guitar. You know, most people know that around 12 years, when you're around 12, your grandparents or your parents give you a guitar. And
how old was I? I must have been... I was a sophomore in high school when I first got my first guitar.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's that same feeling. Did he teach you?
No, he gave me his guitar and said, I want you to go learn this song. If you can learn this song by the time you leave this weekend, you can have the guitar.
Wow.
And he gave me the sheet music, and it was Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind.
Yeah.
I had to be able to play it and sing it. And I learned it, and I got to keep the guitar.
Do you remember what kind of guitar it was?
It was some old Silvertone. It's probably worth a lot of bucks now.
That's the debilitating truth. There's been a lot of things that I think about that I've grown up and I owned, and I was like, man, I shouldn't have thrown that away, or I shouldn't have given that away. It's probably worth thousands now.
There's a 68 Les Paul that I bought for $350 in 1968. And
$300.
my God.
I
didn't like it. It was too heavy and it just didn't sound good. And my God, I turned around and sold it, and it's like 1968.
Yeah. Like, have you ever just gone online and were like, I just want to see how much?
I know. I have a pretty good idea. They're up in the thousands and thousands.
Oh man! But
it was a gold top.
It's a gold
68
top.
gold top.
I do kind of understand when you said it was heavy. I mean, they are heavy. I understand that. But I mean, yeah, at the same time, I get that. I have a friend of mine who, he's not much of a musician. He's more of a instrument collector.
Yes.
He's not really what I would say the most financially wise person, because he just will be like, man, I'm in such dire straits right now. But do you want to see this new Les Paul that I got? It's really pretty, and it's got like gold humbuckers, and I'm like, dude, you're subsisting on ramen right now. I mean, you can't even play these things. You just like to collect them for a bit and then sell them. I mean, like, stop. Especially coming from the musician. I play a $300 guitar, and I've just kind of held on to it and kept adjusting it ever since. On that point, what kind of guitar do you have there?
This is a 2016 Martin D28.
That sounds great. I really love the low end on it. We're just focusing, we're using this Focusrite right here and adjusting the volume. I'm like, wow, that low end is coming in really nice.
Well, that's good, because there's no monitors here, so I'm trusting the room acoustics to
it's doing well. I do notice you have this pickup. That's
yes.
Is that an additional one, or
this an add-on? This is an EMG ACS. It's made by the EMG company, and I've put bags and every kind of pickup known to man in here, K&Ks, everything you can think of, and they never sounded good as this old AGS. They've been making these for 20 years.
If it's tried and true, just keep
tried
using
and true. It's battery powered, and so you have to change the battery, but it doesn't look like an acoustic guitar pickup, but it really functions well in that regard.
And on that point, like you just mentioned, you tried LR bags. I mean, that's like supposed to be like this big one. It's advertised as this like excellent one. I've heard mixed results from it.
Bags and Fishman, all the high names are like.
Yeah.
It really depends on the guitar and how it's installed and what you like. It really what you like.
Yeah, it's true. I was young and naive, and I was like, oh, I must have this in my guitar. And so I reached out, I think it was to the guys at Guitar Techs, and I was asking them to install an LR Baggs onto my guitar. And we had this issue, he called me up and he was like, listen, you have a tuner directly put in on the side of this thing. That's going to become completely obsolete if I put in this LR Baggs. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. I decided to keep the tuner and not put in the LR Baggs, and it still sounds good to me.
Yeah. For one of being an EMG salesman, these ACSs are really good. There's a PC board inside that goes with the battery, and you can connect. It comes with, or you can an add-on a piezoelectric under the saddle ribbon to incorporate with ACS.
Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. That's great.
As to how you like it.
By the way, we're not sponsored by EMG yet, but if you want to, call us. We're desperate. No, but that's really cool. What would you say are your... they're still like peeking in? I mean, they can come in for a free concert if they want, but we have access to this place. What would you say were your influences in music growing up?
Because I'm rather old, I came in the Dean Martin, Mitch Miller, a little bit of Frank Sinatra, the great crooners. I was exposed to the great crooners, and I was still a little bit too young for the Beatles.
Really? In 68? Oh man.
I was born in 54. So I was born before color television. Duh.
I mean, you get like free entrance to the Field Museum. Or...
Yep. But my influences were, I wasn't an acoustic guitar player long. I went straight into rock and roll.
Nice.
And my influences were Pete Townsend, Alvin Lee, and this guy named John Cipollina, who was a guitar player for Quicksilver Messenger Service.
Oh wow!
So
that's a rare name drop. Quicksilver
Messenger Service. They were a psychedelic band from 1967.
And by the way, we're not sponsored by Quicksilver Messenger Service. But call me.
Other people have absconded with that name, with Quicksilver. There's quite a few brands out there with that, but.
What about the Ozark Mountain Daredevils? Was that kind of in your pocket or in your time zone?
See, I was born and raised in Galveston, which is very. My God, it's the most salad bowl city in Texas. We had everything there, every kind of music, and we had. Houston's KLOL radio on all the time. So we were exposed to everything. But those were my early influences was, I got to see Grand Funk Railroad in 1970 on their first tour.
Really?
In the Houston Coliseum, yeah. Been to quite a few concerts in my life. I got to see Led Zeppelin in 1973 on their 73 World Tour.
Oh, gosh. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was in garage bands on and off all through the late high school.
And when you were playing in bands, were you lead, rhythm?
Primarily rhythm. I would always find somebody who was a better lead player than me because I liked the rhythm part. There was a streak of Buddy Holly in me, and I liked setting the rhythm, being part of the rhythm section.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean,
I don't want to show. I never aspired to show off, to fretboard fireworks. Never did. I just like playing music and being part of the band.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Tommy Emmanuel said that there's more work out there for a good rhythm guitarist than there is for a great lead guitarist.
You could always pick up work as a good rhythm. Because, you know, a rhythm guitarist, a bass, and a drummer, and then the show person can do what they want.
Person.
We would call them show boys back in the day, but that is
But
PC. Where'd that PC stuff come from?
I have no knowledge.
I like the Beatles. I came to the Rolling Stones late in life. I think the Rolling Stones are excellent. There's a couple of Rolling Stone naked CDs out there. They're called Rolling Stone Naked. They're recorded with that, you know, straight off the board back in the day, straight off the mixing board, and without any audience input. And they're really good to listen to.
When you were growing up, did you do any recording through analog first, or?
I didn't do any recording until later in life. I graduated high school and went almost straight into college. I went into junior college a couple of years, and then went into college and did college. And after college, I played a little bit, and then I joined the Air Force.
Oh, I gotcha.
And I did 20 years in the Air Force as a flight engineer. Back before computers, there were 3 people in the cockpit in the flight deck. There was pilot, co-pilot, and flight engineer. And flight engineer operated all the machinery.
I see.
Now there's a couple of computer boxes that control all the systems, but that's what I made a career out of it before computers came in.
A huge portion of a military is just logistics. I heard someone say that for every hour an airplane is in the air, there has to be 17 hours of maintenance.
Oh, especially today. You know, they thought they were being smart, eliminating the 3-man cockpit, because, you know, that's one paycheck less that had to come out of every flight. But poof, those computers that they put in his place caught 17 hours of repair, and they're always being updated and rebooted. And so,
did you ever read? It was a very famous book about the Air Force and just people in general. It was called The Right Stuff.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Saw the movie, read the book.
I didn't finish the book, unfortunately, but I was just like shocked. There was one portion that I read where it was like the mass majority of fatalities in the Air Force were in training runs and things like that. It wasn't actually in open combat.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty daunting thing when you just realize the risk.
Back in the 50s, when the jet age came in, they did not know how. You know, it was a zero learning curve. They had to start from the beginning. Yes, they swiped most of the designs from the Germans after World War II, but actually how to operate them did not come with. And, you know, the whole Century series of fighter jets took a lot of lives.
I know, it's
and as we speak right now, without going too deep in the Air Force, every year there's this thing called Red Flag. It happens in Las Vegas, Nevada at Nellis Air Force Base. And all the fighter pilots in the Air Force show up. It's a big party, and they go out and practice air combat.
Oh,
because
is it like our Top Gun kind of, or?
It's exactly like Top Gun.
Yeah.
But the reason it was founded was what your original statement was. They found that fighter pilots usually got themselves killed in their first 10 missions.
Wow.
It took them 10 missions before they were confident and competent enough operating the machine to not get themselves killed and to actually win an air fight. So Red Flag is all about taking all the fighter pilots once a year, go out there, and they fly 10 combat sorties against each other. There's England and Australia participate as well, all the fighter pilots. And they go out there and do air combat in the safety of not,
and it's
the safety of Nevada skies.
It's called Red Flag.
It's called Red Flag.
By the way, we're not sponsored by Red Flag, but
or the United States Air Force.
But if you please call. Actually, on the military service.
And that's happening right now as we speak.
Oh, right now. I thought I heard a boom earlier today. But that was probably the Australians just trying to kickstart this. I get to make fun of them because I'm Australian. But the one thing I was wondering is, in your time in the military, did that take any effect in your songwriting, or did you kind of put away music while you were in the Air Force?
I want to be an Air Force pilot. I want to fly the F-16. Fly straight up when I damn well want to. Sit at the bar with the hangar queens. Come along now and join the Air Force. Come along now, it's time to serve. Live a life of sex and danger. Then get out and go reserve. I want to be an Air Force navigator. I want to fly the big KC. I can get up and go to the bathroom. Me and the boom man fly for free. Come along now and join the Air Force. Come along now, it's time to serve. Live a life of sex and danger. Then get out and go reserve.
That's awesome. Well done.
There's a lot of verses to that.
I mean, the one byline, live a life of sex and danger. I'm like, well, how many lady recruits are there? They may dwindle, and all these guys are like, sign me up.
In my day, it was a man's world.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately and thankfully, it's become pretty integrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still heavily men weighted in the pilot seats, but I would say it's 2/3 men and 1/3 women.
Mm-hmm. You know, actually, I was deeply considering becoming an airline pilot last year. I had gotten out of software, and then I was like, what am I going to do? And I just heard that there was going to be this massive shortage of pilots because most of the pilots were hitting their cap, their age cap. I think it's 64 or something like that. Yeah. And after that, you can fly amateur, but you can't fly for the big major airlines.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I could think about doing that. And then what I did was I started getting on forums and reading stories about people that were actually pilots. And it just seemed like a time sacrifice from family that I probably couldn't afford.
It really is a choice, you know. It really is a choice. I flew from 1990 all the way up till 2001. I flew. My life was flying. And when the 9/11 happened, I had bought a house here in New Braunfels the year before.
Oh, wow.
And it was a choice of selling everything and going back into a life in the sky, mm-hmm. or settling down. And so I chose to settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad decision because from what it was just the same story over and over. It's
the work life is really precarious.
It's brutal. Yeah.
It's brutal. Yeah.
You're
and the other side of it is that most pilots fly to age 65, and if that's all they've ever done, they get out of the flight deck and it's a fall down dead.
Oh man!
You know, it's just like, what do you do? You know, it's so much of what you are. If you don't plan for an afterlife of flying, mm-hmm. you know, it really will stress you out. You know, I did not want to do that because I knew how to play music, mm-hmm. and I wanted to stay in New Braunfels and do an actual retirement. You know, I've been retired since 2016.
2016.
And so that's a good long retirement. I feel very blessed, very fortunate to be playing guitar and you know, we're not there. We have a stalker outside. That's what we're looking at.
Oh, right. Hey, guys, we're back. Sorry, someone was at the door trying to sell us thesauruses. And anyways, I told him to scram, run, vamoose, vacate the premises, other things, because I don't need a thesaurus. But at any rate, we're going to get the next song going on with Joe, so here we go.
This song's called Carrollton Girls, about some loose women up north. Well, Ma loved Pa, and Pa loved women. I am my father's son. Ma caught Pa was 2 in swimming. He taught me how to run. Now I got a weakness for complicated women, the kind that don't mind the shadow of a ring. My wife's in Waxahachie with a new string of pearls. I'm headed up north to find myself some Carrollton girls. Oh, a Carrollton girl, a Carrollton girl, best damn catfish in the whole damn world. A Carrollton girl, a Carrollton girl, with remoulade or tartar sauce. Ma love Pa, Pa love women. I'll meet my fate someday. You know she'll catch me with 2 in swimming. I know the price I'll pay. So if you find my body floating in the Trinity River, my mouth stuffed full, a new string of pearls will bury my bones back home in Waxahachie. Here lies Pa, right between 2 Carrollton girls. Oh, a Carrollton girl, a Carrollton girl, best damn mud bugs in the whole damn world. A Carrollton girl, a Carrollton girl, drown me in Tabasco. Now get you some, get you some, get you some Carrollton girls. Get you some, got me some, get you some Carrollton girls. I said get you some, got me some, get you some Carrollton girls. Cheaper by the dozen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Carrollton Girls. You gotta tell me, what was the story behind that one?
Oh, I drove a bread truck up to Dallas every 2 weeks for a full summer. There was I worked for this lady who, there used to be this huge couponing industry where you would clip coupon, you could get discounts on everything with coupons, discount coupons. And it was an industry. A lady down here in New Braunfels had a business going, had 4 or 5 people clipping coupons. And I would drive up to Dallas, to Carrollton, every 2 weeks, and the Dallas Morning News, or whatever the major newspaper, gave all their excess newspapers to this person, who shall remain nameless, and I would, which was loaded with coupons. It was just one huge, massive coupon in each one of the edition's newspapers. So I'd bring back a truckload of newspapers and deliver them to the people, and they would sit down and clip them out. They had little pigeonholes for all the different coupons. Mm-hmm. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And people would go online and actually order the coupons, pay a premium for the coupons. They would get mailed to the person, and the person would take them to whatever business. And somehow, it all made a profit. It fascinated me. Like, people are saving money doing this, and they're spending money like crazy, and it's like, but hey, I was just a truck driver, bread truck driver. But I went to Carrollton on a regular basis, and you know, that's where the Gas Monkey Garage was, and, or maybe still is, and all the different nightclubs.
Yeah, I think it might still be there.
Which were big time up there in Carrollton. So
at least I've heard of the Gas Monkey Garage before.
Say again, I didn't hear you.
I've heard of a Gas Monkey Garage before, nightclub.
Yeah,
so
it was in Carrollton.
That's pretty crazy. And you know what's cool is that, like, in a lot of your songs, it's written in a style where it is, you can be talking about something that could be, taken seriously or scandalous, but it's so fun.
I try and keep it lighthearted. I try and be an entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, I try and write songs that can live in other people's mouths.
That's a great
so that
line.
we driving home singing a little bit of Carrollton, you know, things that stick in your mind. You know, I'm not a boot gazer. I'm not teardrops or crying tears on your boot kind of Texan. I'm a Roger Miller kind of Texan, you know, lighthearted, happy irony. I like lighthearted, happy irony. You know, things that, you know.
I think that's great. I think that in a world of...
Well, that's what I strive for. You know, this town and this state is full of gloom, despair, agony on me. My woman left me, and where's my whiskey? I need whiskey.
I mean, I could pick up a rock and throw it in any direction, and I'm going to hit a person who has added the word whiskey to their song.
Yes.
And you're like, I mean, that's
Oh,
great.
Don't forget cigarettes. You have to have the word cigarettes and whiskey in all
beer.
True Texas.
I mean,
country
as the
songs.
joke is, it's like if you play a country song backwards, it looks like you're reading out a CVS receipt. You're like a cold beer, shoes, cigarettes, a dirt road. I don't know why you were purchasing a dirt road, but I actually, you'll find this funny. Last week I did 3 performances on Thursday. I did Oak Tree, and then I went over and was supporting Derek Gray at his open mic, and that had some technical difficulties, but we got through it. And then I decided to go to the Phoenix Saloon.
Yeah.
And I go in there, and there's like 3 artists in a row that are just all going like, Cold Bear, Truck,
Yeah.
you know, my sister looks cute, you know, things like that. And you're like, so I was starting to get annoyed by it, so I went downstairs to the tiki bar underneath there, and I was like, give me one of the strongest things that you've got. I'm about to perform. And so they gave me this drink, and it gave me a confidence that I probably shouldn't have had. Because I get back up on stage, and then I like start playing. I was playing Queen's Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
And then I just went, I defy country music. And I was like, it's the lack of creativity, passion, curiosity, joy, self-inflection. And so
you've inspired me.
So anyways, if you'd like to take it out another song, that'd be awesome.
Yippee-yi-yo-tie, we're gathered here today in the presence of the Lord for the death of the cowboy chord, the death of the cowboy chord. The rules have been broken, Queen Bee has spoken, the death of the cowboy chord. I said the girl can't help it, the girl can't help it. Joshua judges rules, 3 chords and the truth. Just another Nashville lie, as smooth as Beyonce's thigh, as smooth as Beyonce's thigh. The rules have been broken, Queen Bee has spoken, the death of the cowboy chord. I said the girl can't help it, the girl can't help it. Yippee-yi-yo-tie, blazes in the ground, Lucinda's out of town, so lay that Gibson down for the death of the cowboy chord, the death of the cowboy chord. The rules have been broken, Queen Bee has spoken, the death of the cowboy chord. I said the girl can't help it, the girl can't help it. Thank you.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Let me turn this mic back on. So I take it you're a fan of Queen Bee.
No,
No,
no, but
Queen Bee spoken?
I get really bent at all these people going, well, black people don't belong in country music.
They were the ones that kind of...
And I go, you didn't grow up in Texas. You didn't grow up in the Texas I did. You know, there's just as many black cowboys and cowgirls as anybody, white people or anybody else.
I mean, the
and
job...
so I don't consider Queen Bee a cultural appropriation.
Oh, no, it's usually...
Yeah,
it's not at all. That's not a appropriation at all. But, I mean, cowboy, the terminology was a lower class citizen job done by a few people, and it usually was regulated to people that were of a different race.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about just like country music is that it's more influenced now today by like, especially like blues and early stages of rock, whereas but there was a divide, because if you listen to Marty Robbins, you can tell it's more of a Spanish influence. You got the 3/4 timing, like in the song El Paso. That sounds straight, like you could take the English words out of it and put Spanish words, and you wouldn't be able to tell.
Sure.
And so, I think that there's an interesting divide. But this is the big secret about country, is that it's not really an American thing anymore. And what I mean by that is that I've been to the most remote places of the Philippines, and they're listening to country music.
Sure.
And they like to try to emulate the 21st century country sound. And so a lot of places are. There are country-themed bars in Japan, for crying out loud.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And
they're such sticklers. They really want to recreate it.
Down to the brisket and everything.
To the 16th note.
Yeah.
and you can see it as like kind of they try and honor the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it's weird because it feels like country in and of itself here in the States doesn't honor itself. It almost hates its own heritage. Like if you listen to like the things that are coming out, like Body Like a Back Road, it is so overproduced. It sounds like it's it's completely over digitalized. It's what is it called, where you turn up the volume to 11 so there is no dynamics. It's just noise.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to bring in R&B sounds and R&B and trap beats in there as well. It's a weird fusion.
I can't keep track of the subgenes now. You know.
Yeah.
There's bro country. There's post outlaw. There's red dirt music.
Yeah.
You know.
Mayor Willems describes himself as a red dirt musician, and I asked him for clarity on that, which he named a lot of people that I didn't know, but it was still very interesting because there is a definite divide between red dirt country and arena country.
The biggest thing I've seen in the last couple of years is the rise and resurgence of bluegrass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really has outpaced any development in country music per se. There are so many really good bluegrass players, and of course there's Billy Strings, and of course there's Molly Tuttle, but there's the Brothers Comatose, and a whole bunch of really good bluegrass people.
There's been, I would say, there's two
The Punch Brothers blew me away. The Punch Brothers were just like, that was the greatest transition.
There was for me, there was two resurgences of bluegrass. You had this brief window of time right after "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" came out, where everyone loved the song "Man of Constant Sorrows," and so there was just kind of this brief resurgence of that. But then in the 2010 through 2017, we had this. It's made fun of now. It's called boom clap hey.
Yeah.
That's it's just this genre of music. It was kind of the Mumford and Sons and stuff like that, where it's this weird millennial trying to sound folkish, and there were some songs that came out of that time that were good, but I think it was just a time for people to wear suspenders, twist their mustaches, and drink IPAs. It's a time that deserved to die, and it did, and we're all happy because it has.
Yeah.
But what's actually interesting in the music industry nowadays is that there is no true definitive sound. Everyone's listening to their own thing.
Yeah.
I guess there's a good thing about that, but like if I were to say, imagine 60s music, you would have an idea of what that sounded like, or 70s, or 80s, 90s, even up to the 2000s or 2010s. But nowadays, I don't feel like there's a definitive sound because, I mean, you have some bands that are trying to sound like the 80s because of Stranger Things. And then you have other ones like Greta Van Fleet is trying to sound like Led Zeppelin.
They do a good job.
They do a great job. Well, they keep denying that they sound like Led Zeppelin. I'm like, dude, that's like you're accusing me of looking like George Clooney. Just take the compliment. Yeah, but they keep saying, oh, we're not inspired by them. So it's a very interesting thing.
I enjoy a lot of Larkin Poe.
Larkin Poe, I actually haven't heard of.
Two sisters, close at age. One's a guitarist and one's a slide steel player.
Really? Okay, very cool.
They do nice music.
Mm-hmm. I do have I will spend a lot of time taking a dump on country music, but I do have a lot of respect for Righteous Intonation. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is such old music.
It is.
People don't realize that is actually pre-country. It's called old country music, I guess. Before country western was country western.
Country western,
That was just pure country music.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very tight. Well, they're great players, and they do justice by the old music. Even the new stuff that they write is just Righteous Intonation. You got to check them out.
Most definitely. So hopefully someday I'll have them on here.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the dream. I mean, Connor is already a member of the guild, and we're going to be having a meeting with him. I think in September. We're hoping to do guitar maintenance, just for him to do a seminar on guitar maintenance because he works as a luthier when he's not playing with Righteous Intonation, and I think that'd be really valuable. So you said that you kind of you've recently had a resurgence of coming back into music and writing stuff. You've been playing music and writing music your whole life.
Yes.
But do you feel like when with all these open mics and songwriters nights that have been opening up in the area, have you felt like there's been like a creative spark that's been rising up in you, being around all these other musicians?
I'm overwhelmed with the number of musicians.
Yeah.
You know, they're just coming out of the woodwork. They're everywhere. And, you know, like I said, I told you before, this is a product of post-COVID. You know, COVID required every venue, bar, restaurant, everyone to have a beer garden, to have an outside 6 feet spread, stop the spread kind of environment. And so every place in town has a stage now, and an open mic, and a songwriter's night, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Did that entice me back? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yes. And, you know, I've played a lot of venues in town. I prefer indoors because I am old. And 101 degree temperatures on a stage outside,
it's
even
too
with
hot for everyone.
A big old fan, still knocks me down. But I love an indoor scene. But yes, I'm just astounded. Also, the music atmosphere, the whole place has migrated from Austin down to New Braunfels. New Braunfels is the singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
I want to say Mecca.
I was thinking that you were going to say Mecca as well.
I would say it's almost the Mecca. It's certainly not what it is better than what Austin used to be. Because every place has a venue. Every venue has an opportunity to perform now.
Well, with Austin, I mean, it was death by 1,000 cuts.
Oh yeah.
Because about 35 years ago, it was a great place. You had, 6th Street was always booming. But the problem is that they took a look at their local music scene and they said, we'd rather have the big artists tour through. And so I when the Guild first started, I wrote on an Austin forum and I said, what do you guys want to have changed? And they said, we don't do shows in Austin anymore. We do it in the surrounding areas because of parking. because it's like, why on earth am I going to pay for 4 or 5 hours parking?
Yeah.
And probably, I mean, that's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
And then deal with like, okay, now I have to, I have to find the parking spot, which is going to be blocks away from the actual venue. I have to lug my stuff there. Hopefully they have a good PA system, or maybe I have to bring in my own.
And it's sad that it's something as trivial as parking.
Yeah.
You know, it is really sad that it's something that trivial. But I also think, that, like you said, Austin wants to bring in the big act.
Mm-hmm.
And down here, people will play, they'll play for $100 in a tip jar and a meal and a couple of drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's affordable to the venue, and it's affordable to the artist.
Yeah. I will say I am a little apprehensive of what's happening in downtown.
My friend Brian Duckworth, who's a retired violin maker, and
yes, I remember Duckworth.
Duckworth was Robert Earl Keen's original fiddle player. Told me 10 years ago that the city council, the city people want to turn downtown into another 6th Street, and they're dead set on doing it. And so downtown is slowly becoming an entertainment center, as opposed to commercial or any kind of anything other than an antique store here and there. Every place is a bar now, or some kind of family-friendly venue.
I mean, on one side, the selfish side of me, it's like, oh boy, more places where I can book musicians. But then on the other side, I'm like, well, now you are hoping beyond season, beyond tourism, that it's just constantly going to be filled. And I think that we've reached just a different point. When it comes to millennials and Gen Z, we're not going to the bar as much. Yeah. But there's a good reason for that, because let's say you go on a rager in the 90s or something like that, you wake up naked in the middle of a field, you have a little bit of deniability. And like someone's like, man, you were an animal on Friday. You'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. But then nowadays, you'll be brought into HR and it's like, we have 30 camera views of you tap dancing naked on a pool table, and you can't just say, "Oh, that's somebody else." It's like, "Oh, you grabbed one of the cameras and said your name and where you work," And so that is the big issue. They are hoping that they can turn it into a bar crawl.
Yes.
And I mean, I like some of the bars there.
Can you see the future where? This is another driving job I had. Yeah. Because I've always carried a commercial driver's license as a backup. Every Thursday, I think it was Thursdays. Right. 8 or 10 full buses would go to San Marcos and fill those buses full of people, of college students, $20 a head, drive them up to 6th Street and let them crawl 6th Street till 2 in the morning. Then we load them all back up and bring them back to San Marcos. I can see that happening in New Braunfels, to where there was some kind of drive-in situation where you park out and drive in. And there's a couple of tube companies. Yeah, there are tube places that do that already. You park way out and jump on the bus, and they take you to the tube chutes or to the Comal River. I can see that happening downtown because of parking. Yeah, it's such a small, trivial thing, but I'm hoping that maybe I can have a talk with the city council and be like, listen, the wages of a musician have not changed. Inflation has gone up, the musician has not benefited from that. Is there a way that we can work together so that a musician doesn't have to park 3 blocks behind Muck and Fuss and then walk all the way to Phoenix Saloon, which I have done. It's not fun. I know that there are musician loading zones and venues in San Antonio. That's smart. The city has actually, put signage up for this is where musicians load in and load out and park. And that's a possibility here in New Braunfels. The only danger with that is then we're catering to the bigger acts as still again. Whereas I would rather be like, think of it as catering to the venue. It's catering to the venue, yeah. But I mean, if the venue has like
a dedicated parking spot, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
But if it's like, it's just a strip of road where we're allowing a bus to pull up to unload their stuff, then it's, well, who has a bus? Most smaller acts don't.
Yeah.
So that is something that hopefully we can brainstorm and figure something out. But I think there's reasons to be optimistic, which coming from a pessimist is an interesting thing to say.
This town needs a couple more listening rooms.
That's interesting. I thought that we have a lot of them. I mean, maybe more?
We have, there's the Redbird, of course, which is an excellent listening room.
Yeah.
We have Goodwin's Speakeasy, where I play every Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite spot because it's dark and cool.
Yeah.
and
it's like a lair.
And I like Bill Whitbeck very much.
Yeah.
But to have a couple more. See, we're out here. We're at 13 Trees, which is significantly outside of the center of New Braunfels.
Of New Braunfels proper.
There's, Comal County is the fastest growing county in the whole United States. Every piece of farmland has been turned into subdivisions. Mm-hmm. So I can see venues of that nature out here.
Yeah.
Because the city, as Duckworth told me 10 years ago, the city's intention is to move all the commerce out to Town Creek. Mm-hmm. Where Target and all the big box stores are. That's their intention, to put all commerce there and turn the old downtown into a crawl.
I'm curious about what's going to happen with Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the design for that, like even the sign, it looks like 1950s, what they expected the future to be like. Mm-hmm. Then it's kind of this weird housing development squeezed right next to Creekside. I don't know what they're going to do with it.
There's also the whole Viramendi development on that side of town.
Yeah.
You should be, I think you live up that way.
I do.
You should be exploring new venues that are opening there, because they're opening every, it's actually starting to get developed, built out.
It is, but it's a lot of, Viramendi right now is like they focus so hard on congested housing. And they do have a couple of small places, but those businesses, they are coming and going, like they cannot last very long. And I think I realized the problem. It's because they have the businesses inside of Viramendi. It's almost, which feels like, Oak Run or one of these other places.
Another 15-minute city.
Yeah, but the problem is that no one wants to be able to drink coffee or a beer and see their house.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're going to do that, they might as well go to HEB, buy the beer, and then take it home. Yeah. It's just kind of a weird thing to be like, oh, look, I can see my son washing dishes and shaking hands with our neighbor at the same time because the houses are so close together.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a mausoleum. They were like, do we make a shopping center or do we make a housing development? And someone said yes, and then just moved on. But I know that we're making the folks at home so interested in local building developments, but I was wondering if you have another song for us.
Why, I do.
Awesome.
Several more songs. I think I told you I was just recently able to clean this song up enough to where it was family friendly. Family friendly. I've had people blush at this song. So. Well, I come from Alabama in this ragtop Cadillac. I'm going down to New Orleans, gonna get my woman back. Now the witch done went and left me. She took everything I had. But this worn out Eldorado and this shotgun that I hid. Oh, Susanna, you'll be sorry for what you did. 'Cause I come from Alabama, there ain't no place you can hide. Well, I found her in a whorehouse, yeah, just off Poydras Street. She was sleeping with a Creole, had her head between his feet. Now my gun was cocked and loaded, but the old John his was too. And he put it down and smiled at me and said, boy, you can have Miss Sue. Oh, Susanna, now what's a man to do? 'Cause I sure as hell can't tame you, and I just can't say we're through. Now we're back in Phoenix City. I got Suzanne on a leash. Been going to church on Sunday. I caught her winking at the priest. When she told me she was pregnant, she said I was the one. Now I found my sense of humor since I got myself a son. Oh, Susanna, now don't you cry for me, 'cause I'm leaving Alabama with your baby on my knee.
That is such a fun take. On Oh, Susanna. That is so cool. What would be the official title of that one?
Oh, I don't know. I just in my set list it's just Susanna.
It's almost like an extension. Oh, Susanna Extended, which has a play on words right there.
Yeah. That was a fun one to write. I lived in Biloxi, Mississippi for 5 years, and so I had going when I was in the Air Force, and so I traveled all over the South, and I saw those people living that kind of life, and there is a place called Phoenix City. It's on the it's actually the border between Georgia and Alabama.
Then
I think it's Georgia and Alabama.
There's a good chance that I've probably driven through it then.
Yeah, but there's Phoenix City, and there are people like that.
Oh man, it's so cool. I mean, with a lot of musicians, the music that they write, especially if they are their proclivity is blues, folk, even country, is the storyteller.
Yes.
And I think that is so cool. It's something that I personally probably need to work on. I write in ambiguous terms.
Yeah. I'm working on another Deep South song.
Really?
I'm on my second first wife 'cause I didn't get it right the first time. I'm married again. You can take it. You can see how it's going to go.
Oh my goodness! I have a feeling that one's gonna.
Because I didn't want to split the trailer. I mean, there's.
What was it? What was his name? Larry the Cable Guy had a funny joke. He's like, "This song is called I Can't Get Over You Until You Get Out From Under Him."
Yeah. Exactly.
But you said that you have done some recording recently. Do you mind telling them the story that you and I experienced when you were playing, and that guy said, "I know this song."
Yeah.
You remember? I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. I played a song in Goodwin Speakeasy, and I can't remember which song it was now, off the top of my head, but the guy knew it. And I did not know. I had never seen the guy before in my life.
And he was singing along.
He came very close to singing along. That's a testimony to how often I play out a lot. I play out a lot. So there's people who, I did years at the Phoenix Saloon until the, what's it called? The House of Rock kids started showing up. There's a House of Rock franchise in New Braunfels, and
they have a place.
The Phoenix Saloon is the place where the kids from the House of Rock come and sit in the audience and play along with you and play the cajon and just talk amongst themselves, and it's not really a vibe that I care for.
Phoenix is such an interesting case study because I want there to be better things there. I mean, it used to be like that was the big place to go, and I think it's been definitely supplanted by like Cowboys and Cadillacs and places like that. But Phoenix, if you've ever been in there, it's got a very distinct look. You'd think that it's almost like a legacy place where famous acts have been there. But now I think there's a management issue, but then there's also who they're handing off their like open mics to. Like I like a Bobby, the guy who manages the
Bobby Schmeckel. He's a very good man.
He's a good man. He's friendly. He's probably he's not the best at emceeing because that's a full time. You have to be on the ball saying next artist, next artist. And there's been times like I was waiting to get on, and Bobby was off talking to someone, and the artist is sitting there on stage, and he's like, should I just play another song then? And he just went playing, and I'm like, I was ready to get up and play. Yeah. And I know that's selfish of me, but I feel like it just needs a little bit of defibrillation, and it could be a nice place again.
It could be. I played at the Poorhouse for years, and that's a very good venue. On Tuesday nights, they have an open mic there, and that's a very nice atmosphere.
Especially in the springtime. Yeah. It's not too hot. Like even in the summer evenings, it could be a little too hot and stuffy there.
I recommend the Poorhouse.
Yeah. And they have the upper decking now. Have you been there since they built that?
No, I haven't been upstairs.
Yeah, I would go up there with buddies and smoke cigars, and so that was kind of a nice change of pace, listening to the music, and then hang out with them. So
lots. I love the fire pits and the seating around the fire pits and the whole. The stage presentation's wonderful. It's a place. It's a great place, which might because there's so many venues, because there's so many musicians, because I'm old. I sit and wonder who's going to break out of this, who's going to become a George Strait out of this kind of environment. Who, and I hope I live long enough to see that happen. There are some incredibly good songwriters and musicians in this town.
There are.
And it's going to be fascinating to see the breakout.
And to that point, it's kind of like proof there that it takes more than just being a good songwriter or a good musician to break out. Yeah. Because, like I said, we're surrounded by them. Yeah. I'm more along the mindset of, is it possible to increase the quality of life for a musician because we have so many venues, so that we can have places for them to play, so that they can actually bring in a little bit more money and make it so that their lives are better as a whole without having to, kind of like the airline pilots, sacrificing everything just to get by.
And don't forget the day jobs.
Yeah, the day jobs.
Even there's a lot of venues here, because we're so saturated, you have to have a residency to make a living as a musician. You have to have a steady gig at a steady place that's going to pay you on a steady deal. And there's not a lot of that here.
And it's heartbreaking when you have a residency and then it disappears. Yeah. And it's happened to friends of mine. It's happened to a lot of them where you're like...
Green's Last Call was an excellent place. I thought it was going to go on.
Oh, Green's Last Call is interesting. Like I personally ended it because I wanted to get more into the booking of things. But we still want to do events with them. Yeah. It's just the open mic was something that we were doing for free for them. And it was like, okay, this is cool, but now let's talk about actually doing events where let's ticket it, let's split the bill, let's do things that we can then spend time marketing. Yes. Because for me, Green's Last Call was an experiment. And I think it was a successful one, even though there were some times where I'd show up, set up the microphone, and it would be you and maybe one other person. And I'd be like, well, shoot. It was a good way for me to figure out how the algorithm of marketing actually ticks and functions.
What I enjoyed there was they did have a regular clientele. All the bar seats were going to be full every time, every Sunday afternoon. And everybody who plays open mics and songwriter nights, we live to play for paying audiences.
Oh, yeah.
We live to play for paying audiences as opposed to empty seats. And the Green's Last Call was a wonderful place because when you come in, the entire bar was full of regulars on a Sunday afternoon.
And I'd be happy to start it up again. But the main thing was when I talked with them, originally. I was like, let's since we're treating this like an experiment, let's just stop when the school year starts. And so I was like, and that's a good time because, as my dad always told me, Monday morning starts on Sunday night. And so, a lot of these people are probably going to be like, well, I need to get my kids in order and stuff like that. So we enjoyed the summer. We started in the first week of June and went all the way till mid-August. And I'm happy to kick it back up again, but it's now just kind of like, let me make sure that I have all the other functions of the guild working out in order. Sure. Because just getting ready for that and marketing it takes so much time.
Yeah.
But at any rate, do you have another song you'd like to share?
Yes. How are we doing? I would like to just do one more and call it a day, if that's cool.
Yeah, I think we're about, one more would probably be great. It was hard to measure the time because of the interruption.
Yeah.
But we're right at about an hour 15. So go ahead and
right.
like to close us out.
This is my most recent song. It's maybe a couple of months old now. It's called Dancing with Jean. Who's that sundowner out there on the floor, swirling and dancing alone? She has to be 80, some old worn-out daisy, stayed at the party too long. Well, that's our sweet Bessie, the bluebonnet queen, 1973. She's been two-stepping before you were born. She's still pretty spry, don't you think? Now Bess and her husband, they own these dance floors from Lukenbach and Halt and Green. She's been a widow at least 15 years, but she's still out there dancing with Jean. 45 years they dance to these songs out here in Green Hall or out in the barn. The crops were all in, the chores are all done. They'd come here for 2 tons of fun. Now some say these dance halls are littered with ghosts that only a widow can see. Shadow where no one is standing, the smell of some old nicotine. Redbirds and cardinals, they marry for life. Memories turn into dreams. Sometimes your partner's alive in your heart, and she's still out there dancing with Jean. 45 years they dance to these songs. The farm has been sold along with the barn. The kids are all grown, but she's not alone. The happiest grandma that you've ever seen. She'll always be dancing, still she's romancing. She'll always be dancing with Jean.
That is such a beautiful song. I know that we're wrapping up time here today, but if you could let just the folks at home, places that you like to play at. I know that you said that before, and things that are coming up for you.
Well, I play at the Greens Goodwin Speakeasy every Tuesday night. I can recommend Songwriters Night at Cheatham Street Warehouse, which is every Wednesday night.
Yep.
Thursday nights is the Redbird Listening Room Songwriter Night, which is tonight, and I believe you said their
5th year anniversary.
5th year anniversary of the Redbird Listening Room.
That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, and I recently joined the New Braunfels German Choir. I'm a bass in the large German
so
choir.
We can see you singing bass. That'd be awesome.
I can sing some bass if I have to. And I love the people. it's a German thing.
Will you be performing at Wurstfest?
Yes, we will be performing at Wurstfest, of course.
Excellent. Awesome. That will be the first 2 weeks of November,
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
first 2 weeks of November.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also places where people can find you. I know that you have a Facebook, you have an Instagram. Is there any found footage of you on YouTube that you like? Or
I'm on YouTube, and I have my song lists are on YouTube. If you go to Joe Meyer on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook with all my friends, and I've just recently learned how to Instagram.
It's easier than anything.
Last night, as a matter of fact, I hit the correct buttons to put my content to the general public and not just my friends.
Yeah.
I went, wow! I did not realize that I was limited. I wasn't doing that. And I hit a couple of sliders, and the next thing you know, everybody, I'm in the big feed.
Yeah. Keep in mind, there's a billion other people that are throwing their stuff in
I know.
as well. So
it's
hit or miss. But I mean, putting your stuff out there for the public to see on Instagram is great.
Everybody disses the algorithm, but without the algorithm, it would just be a big pile of zeros and ones. A large pile of zeros and ones.
Well, anyways, Joe, it's been an absolute honor to have you on there. We Joes need to stick together. We're going to get persecuted someday. But at any rate, it's been another episode of the Hill Country Musicians Guild podcast. Try to say that 5 times fast. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much, Joe. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we'll see you next time, guys. Take care.